What is up, guys? Today we are going to be bringing you a tutorial on the backflip. A backflip can be done on a trampoline, on the ground, or even off of different objects. Today we are going to be bringing you a tutorial for on the ground or on flat. But first, what you're going to need for this tutorial, you can either have a mat, a mattress, or if you feel like your skill is fairly well in parkour and free running, you can go on grass or sand. Alright, you guys ready?
Alright, so before we get started with the in-depth part of the tutorial, let's do a basic overview of the parts of the backflip. So let's watch it all the way through. Notice how I swing my hands up, throw them in the air, snap into a tuck, and land. Let's break it down. So the first part of the backflip is called the set. Notice how I swing my arms back to start. This isn't necessary, but it's really good for beginners. The reason I bring my arms all the way back is so I can generate more momentum when I go to swing my arms forward. Alright, so I swing my arms forward and up, and I bring my shoulders near my head. Alright, so see how my arms are extended pretty much all the way? That's good, because if you only have your arms down close to your body, you're not going to get that height you want. By throwing your arms, you're telling your body to go straight up into the air, and that will give you the height for the rest of the backflip. Alright, so also notice as I'm doing my set, I'm bending my knees and swinging my arms at the same time. This is going to help you maximize your power. Alright, so as I'm swinging my arms through, notice how I extend my legs to help me get up in the air, and that makes up a good set, okay? So once you're there, you're off the ground, your arms are up near your head. Now you're going to go into the next step, which is called the tuck. Alright, and so once you're about parallel with the ground, you're going to bring your knees to your chest and bring your arms down so that you can grab your knees or your shins to help you spin faster. That's the whole point of the tuck, is so that you can spin faster. Alright, so see, I grab my knees, and now, once I'm in the tuck, I'm going to spot the ground, which basically means I'm watching the ground so I know when to extend my legs and land it. Alright, so you can stay in the tuck for quite a while. And when I first started my backflip, I even landed in the tuck my first few tries, just to make sure I got all the way around. Once you get more experienced, you know to watch the ground and know when to extend your legs. So once I see the ground, I start to release from the tuck, let my legs hit the ground, and then I stand straight up. So even in that backflip, I landed pretty low, but I was still able to land it because I stayed long enough in the tuck, and that's a big problem I see. A lot of people will try to get out of the tuck early, won't let themselves spin around enough, and that's why they'll land on their head. They try to brace themselves by releasing from the tuck, and they put their hands out. Don't do that. I know it's hard, and that's a big mental barrier, and that's the biggest difficulty with the backflip, is that there's a big mental barrier. So hopefully after you watch the in-depth part of the tutorial, you'll understand better how to overcome these steps.
The first step into the backflip is the set. The set is what allows you to get all the height. Here you will see Trevor demonstrating what the set would look like. Notice how his hands are straight up as he jumps up towards the ceiling. If you cut the set short, you won't be able to get enough height to go into the backflip. Now Trevor is going to demonstrate getting comfortable while leaning back onto the mat with his set. Notice how he keeps his back straight and his arms straight up. The fourth step in the backflip is opening up for the landing. If you stay in the tuck, you're either going to have a very low landing or rotate onto your back. For the fourth step, you want to try to spot the ground as you're in your tuck. Once you see the ground, you need to open up according to how far into the rotation you are.
Alright, so watch as he sets up and practices landing on his back. He still sticks with that tuck, and then once he gets comfortable with all of these steps, he works his way up to his shoulder blades. Once you can do that, you're going to want to angle yourself to the side midair so you don't land on your head. No matter how soft your mat is, landing on your head is still pretty bad. So you want to land on your shoulder and roll over. This will help you know if you have enough time to spin past your head in a normal backflip. Alright, so now we're going to pull up a platform to backflip off of. Alright, so now we're going to push up a platform. Alright, now we have a platform that's approximately level with the mat that we're using. If you don't feel comfortable with this, you can go even higher, or if you're on a trampoline, practice jumping higher. Alright, now he's going to practice landing on his back again, from this higher height. He knows he has a high enough set to make it all the way around if he can rotate onto his shoulder blades. Alright, so if you have someone to spot you, here's the best way to spot someone in a backflip. If you're afraid of under-rotating, you can ask a friend or family member to spot you. A spot looks like this. He wraps his hand in his t-shirt and helps him flip the rest of the way.
The next step into the spot is asking whoever is spotting you to spot you less and less until you're doing it more on your own. Notice how Trevor put his hand on the back of Wieston's knees and to help lift him over.
So for this next progression, if you have a trampoline or a really soft mat or foam pit, you can practice rotating onto your back and shoulders again. You want to make sure you keep up with that set, just like we did before, so you have enough height to snap and rotate all the way around with a normal backflip. Here's what a good backflip looks like. Alright, so see how he lands on his feet. Likely that won't happen your first time. You're either going to under-rotate and catch yourself on your hands and knees, or you're going to over-rotate and land on your back. If your mat or trampoline's soft enough, you should be okay. Notice how he brings his knees up to his chest and not his chest down to his knees. If you bring your chest down to your knees, that'll negate the backwards motion that you're trying to create with the backflip. Now watch from this angle as he spots the ground all the way through the flip. He watches the ground and knows when to shoot his legs out so that he properly lands straight up and down. This is a good height and distance to jump back for a backflip. Notice how he landed a couple feet from the mat and he landed straight up and down. In this backflip example, he's jumping too far back and not getting enough height. This is very common for people who set too far back. The more you set backwards, the less height you will get. The purpose of a tuck is to get you smaller into a ball and help you rotate faster. If you don't tuck at all, this is what it looks like. Notice how he doesn't land erect.
for watching. We hope you liked this video.
If you have any questions, or you're confused about any point in this video, follow us on Instagram at Flux Parkour Team and DM us. If you're watching this 100 years in the future, just look in the description for our Instagram username because it may have changed. Thank you.
Gotta give